the presence of this moment together, appreciating that we are all coming into this room from different homes, but imagining maybe as you look to your left that there would be Joe sitting there, maybe in the right is Penny, maybe in front of you is Dorothy, and just kind of experiencing the idea that this group is not alone and there is everyone here tonight. With Rhonda, we're welcoming Siobhan, we are welcoming, as I said, Cotalin, Dorothy and Penny, and we're also welcoming Helen. So just think about, you might know some of those people, maybe you don't, maybe you've just seen them appear on the webcam, and imagine being in the presence of everyone in the group. Settling into the rhythm of your breathing. I'm going to begin now with some simple seated side bend. So sliding one palm out to your side, spreading out through your thighs, especially if you are cross-legged, and then releasing the arm over, maybe bringing the elbow to the earth or the block, and looking up, extending out through one side as you breathe and open. Pressing back to center, flowing to your second side. Perhaps the palm presses down and away. Maybe you can let your elbow release to the earth. And then can you spread your thighs? When we are efforting into a sense of stretch, notice also your ability to soften. So you might want your top arm to also have a bent elbow and just let the release come through that armpit. So, you know, you can elongate the arm or have that sense of the elbow bending and kind of softly allowing the open space rather than always over efforting and kind of forcing or reaching. Sometimes if you stretch too far, what happens is the muscles actually recontract and they kind of retension. So being in a place of exploring how easy can you bend from side to side. So maybe, you know, you start to speed up or maybe you slow down a bit. Functionally, during our day, we're very unlikely to have come into side bending. So most of our actions will be folding forward or reaching the body forward, or maybe a little bit of back bending. Maybe you've reached arms overhead, but side bending maybe not. So really enjoy that sense of swaying in the breeze and opening up through those sides. Good. Okay, so finish the pair that you're on and then shake out the legs, bring the legs out in front of you. You can be, as I was, on the edge of a block, or you can just be on your mat and just give those legs a real shake out. And then we're going to circle the ankles, so sitting quite firm into the pose of Dandasana. Send your feet and your toes and heels into generous ankle circles, and then notice whether it is comfortably okay to sit with those legs being a little bit super firm. So stretching through from those powerful thighs and legs out in front. And let's take the arms overhead. Just squeeze the inner thighs together. No, of course, you might want to bend your knees. Reaching up And then exhaling as you sweep the arms round, take the fingers behind the body, reach back and open up your chest. So this is a pose of Purvottanasana, the open pose. So lifting out through the chest, trying to find that open back bend. And as I said, bend the knees if necessary. Let's go again. Breathe in as the arms come up overhead. Maybe look up to salute the sun. Press the palms away. Exhale, hands behind your body. See if you don't need your block. And then lift the chest away. And take another breath. Squeeze the scapulae together. You might prefer to bend the knees. On the next one, as the arms come up overhead, exhale and fold over the legs. And I know that some of you will be very happy to come into full Paschimottanasana. So if you want those legs to elongate again, folding over, folding around the feet, and breathe in. And if you prefer to have your knees bent, lift up, inhale, big arm circle, and exhale. It's a bit like seated child's pose. Reaching down. Lovely. Okay, lifting through. Bring the knees onto the blanket or your yoga blocks if you want to block underneath the knee or both knees. I'm going to stay a little bit with the side bending and the opening space through the chest. It's coming up into that high kneeling. Reach your right leg out to the side, toes pointing down, and extend through the front of that foot. So it's like you're tipping that foot down. And then notice how it feels to flex the foot. So, you know, we might feel that we want to turn towards that leg, and you may even want to change the angle. But as soon as you can find this extended leg hip, bring your shoulders above the pelvis. Now I'm going to try and really push my foot down and lengthen the front of the foot. Tip over towards the left now. Left fingers to the earth or block. And take that right arm overhead. So coming into that lovely feel-good pose, Parigasana. Lift up through the center. Take the right hand down the right thigh and sliding the other way. So it's a bit like Trikonasana. Let's go again. Float up, tip over. Left hand to the earth or the brick or the block. If you want to go into a little bit of toning strength, raise the leg away. This looks like a big star. And then it comes down again, point the foot, and I'm going right through into that thigh. You can even bend your knee as well. So I'm just bending the knee and letting my right forearm rest on that bent thigh and getting into a lovely space in the groin there. So notice that. Let's ease around. One more. Find time to breathe and absorb. And on this occasion, I'm going to keep that leg firm and just channel some energy around that midline. Try to turn the ribs and find a different angle on the pose. As the knee comes back to kneeling, and obviously Helen, again, or anyone who's had an injury to their knees lately, do take care. You can use Parigasana, the gate pose, in standing, so you could follow that sort of idea for being standing. And now I'm suggesting just a little child's pose at this point, folding over those thighs. But if you don't want your knees down and you want something more energetic, then maybe come into a down face dog. Breathing, letting every cell in your body absorb your practice. Let your mind stay present. Let your emotional energy be understood. Feel that breath coursing through your body, whether you're in down dog or child's pose. One more round of breath there. And then we are probably back into high kneeling. Left leg out to the side, plant the foot forward or to the side. Maybe the leg comes a little off center and is a little angled forward, or your heel, sorry about this foot clunking down that you can hear, but the heel is in line with the knee. And like I said, I'm trying to stretch the front of the foot, so I'm actually curling the foot over. My foot has quite a high arch, and if you're the same, it feels really easy for me to lift the toes towards the sky and sort of push the heel in. So notice that action of flexing and extending your foot. And this time, let's go over towards that leg first. So what does it feel like to draw in through that center and come over towards that extended leg? And then sail to the other side. So the right hand will come to earth somewhere comfortable, and you will let your pose evolve. I've hit the wall, I'm sure you've got more space, or you will be at a different angle. It's really sending yourself around that mat to find the best position. Kind of coming like a little windmill. Overhead, inhale. If you want to go faster, exhale, come to the second position. Inhale again, the arm might reach over the ear. Pull through the center, exhale. So a few more. And then the option, especially when you're coming towards that left leg, is to bend into the left knee and glide into more of an open groin position like this. And extend the arm a little bit more. Maybe even take, so for me, if I bend my knee and I put my forearm on the leg, I tend to get the shoulder pushing up into the ear. So if you're finding the same, if your bones start to get congested, if your body starts to feel congested, maybe bring the hand to the foot and reach over. Yeah, so explore some possibilities and then release back. And once again, you could choose to come to regular kneeling pose and just take a moment to absorb your breathing. Or pose of child, Shashankasana with the arms forward. My preference would actually be down dog. So that's a little bit more about what's happened in my day, because if your day, like my afternoon has been quite administrative, so I've been sitting at the laptop. So therefore having that sort of down dog stretch feels intuitively quite exciting to the body. You may prefer a moment of softening and not weight bearing through the wrists. So really allowing that moment of calm and steadiness. And then we'll all find down dog. So if you were in down face dog, maybe stay a little longer or re-enter the pose. And really think about lengthening the feet. So lifting high into those inner arches, lifting the heels above the toe knuckles, and then reaching one foot back with one leg bent, and then bending and reaching one leg back, and then lengthening out the feet. Nice deep breath in and out. Start to walk your hands mindfully towards the feet. And now we can have Uttanasana or a lovely deep dangle. So pull the chest away from the legs and then refold and maybe hold the elbows. This is only going to feel good if you don't have any back trouble. Maybe a little bit of a swaying. Let the head be below the heart. And then press through the feet and slow unraveling and find yourself in a different space in the room or on the mat and into the center. So as you know, yoga and especially Hindu folklore, all of the Indian mythology is so rich. And Garuda, the eagle, is said to be quite a spiritual animal in the sense that the associated philosophy with Garuda and Garudasana is this idea that you can meditate and that you focus on this area here, the space between the eyebrows and the third eye, which is actually the pineal gland. So we're going to practice Garudasana. So from your center point of mountain, bring your palms forward into Shunya Mudra and open your arms out. And as you open the arms, let the shoulder blades meet in the middle at the back of the body and squeeze together. And depending on the day you've had, you might want to do this several times. Just really opening out that chest, feeling the arms, and this mudra, this idea of giving to others and cooperating and forming really good, sincere relationships might be worthy. Opening up that heart, the arms, the eagle wings from the heart. So now I'm going to turn the palms down and up a few times, and then cross the right arm over the left and bend the elbows and interlace. So there's a double bind, and many of us will know eagle arms. And if for any reason this is not for you tonight, then you can just cross the arms. And what's lovely is it's like giving yourself a little self-hug, like a little Valentine's hug here. So center into your eagle and gaze at the thumbnails. Taking a moment of focus. And then when you're ready, you're going to lift the right leg, take the right foot onto the left foot or bind. So you can simply have the single version here, or you can double bind and hold steady. Try not to grip the mouth. You might want to sit lower, or again, if knees are a trouble to you today, just cross and maybe even touch the right foot onto the left shin. So you can cross or cross not much at all. Let's unravel. And as the arms come out, take them overhead. Still got my arms a little bit crossed at the wrists. I'm going to do some lovely circles here. Just easing everything out. And some little singles. Okay. So let's raise the hands forward from the heart. Bring the hands forward as if a gesture of openness. Sweep the arms out, long and lengthened. Rotate up and down a few times from the shoulder line. And then take the left arm over the right, up at the top of the arms. Bend the elbows and see whether your Garuda arm position. Now in Garuda arms, sometimes it's quite nice to round the upper back and sort of pull the elbows away from the chest and then come back to standing. So noticing a kind of push-pull through the shoulders there. Other thing you can do is lift the arms up. Do you have any range of motion? Notice what's happening. Let's now gaze at the thumbs. Soften the gaze. Feel that trickiness actually of the binding of the arms. How does that make you feel? Does this pose feel familiar and a kind of comfortable old friend, or does it feel annoying? So notice that. Take the left foot onto your right foot, stand on one leg. Try not to drop your hips. And then double bind if you wish. Squeezing those inner thighs together. Shoulders may draw away from your ears. And if there's any difficulty with the lower portion of the pose, then simply arrange your legs, standing now as we are on the right leg, and find the best expression of Garudasana, the eagle, with a calm face or a smiley face. Steadiness. One more round of breath. Squeeze, take the arms overhead, unravel, come to your Samastitihi, and then sweep the arms again. 2, 3, and then I can swim alternately. And shake them out. Nice, okay. So from eagle, which was very closed in, I'm going to stride the legs wide, or wide as you wish. Rotate your right foot, so right leg leading. Turn your left heel out enough and just lift up through the arms. Look up to sky, palms face, and you may even bring your hands together. Take a breath and then release the arms. And as the knee bends, try not to collapse. So put some weight or leave some weight in this back foot. Coming into warrior 2. Deepen the pelvis, just tidy up your pose enough. Inhale, exhale. Let's go up again. Lift up. Palms together. And then release the right hand on your thigh and slide into Trikonasana. Steady muscles, steady breathing, steadfast energy. Rise back. Reach the arms again. Take the left hand to the left leg or buttock. Rotate the palm. And as you rise up and lean back enough, maybe choose to bend that right knee again. And then release. Take the feet forward. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, slide the hands a little bit behind the waist and lift the chest and see if you can lean back. Watch that when you lean, you don't just use the weight of the head and kind of fling the head back. So you might bring the hands higher up the rib cage. And then step those legs back to Samastitihi. Coming back into that mountain. Take the arms overhead. Interlace. Reach up and away. I'm just going to avoid my beam. Reach away. Inhale, exhale. And if you can get that head right in between those upper arms, lift the heart away and open out and back. And release. Maybe try that again. Lift, extend. Open that chest. Front line opens. And come back. And it really doesn't have to be too dramatic. Unleash those fingers after your next one or the one that you're on. And come back into the heart. Just take a little moment, bowing the gaze. Calm, centered, moments of peace, moments of stability. Mountain pose, ta-da, tadasana. It sort of also is often translated as is. So this sense of being as you are, being everything being as it is, which I think is really lovely. Okay, back into that wide angle, as wide as feels comfortable for you. Turn the left foot out, turn the right heel away. Good spread of the legs and reach the arms up, touch the palms. And then exhale, arms wide, warrior two, bending into that left knee if that feels appropriate for you. Make sure, of course, that knee opens outwards. And quickly send a little bit more heavy weight down this right side, centered body, arms overhead, so the body is lifted and lengthened. Keep the right arm up. Take the left hand to the left thigh or shin and slide into high triangle pose, Trikonasana, or even Uttita Trikonasana with the fingers coming around the ankle or even reaching to that long extended foot. Revolve the ribs, reach away, belly muscles in. Pull up through strength. Woo, take the right hand to the right leg. Reach the left arm up. A little bit of a reverse pose here. And, you know, you have to be careful because there's quite a squeeze on the kidneys. And then bend the knee again if you wish. So it's a reverse style of warrior. And coming out. Turn the feet forward. Step back into mountain. Salute the sun and the sky. Lift up, inhale, expand. And exhale as you bring the palms down into the heart. Bowing the gaze. And then we'll follow that through to kind of dangling ragdoll. Soften the knees. Let the hands slide down. Really drape it out. Let the head dangle down. And then in a way that feels comfortable for you, please come and sit. And reach the legs in front again into Dandasana. I think if you've got tenderness in the knees, yoga poses and yoga practice can sometimes be a little aggravating. And so do really up and increase your level of self-care. If any of the joints are sore, doesn't mean we can't use yoga, but do try to moderate or adjust. Because what we're now going to look at is Janushasana, the pose, which involves almost that tree style leg coming in. So I'm going to keep the right leg firm, and on bending the left knee, draw the heel into the body, and then just shuffle about a little bit and find that I'm expanding the body. So maybe my right leg comes a little further out to the right. Maybe you do the same. You just shift around your seat or your blanket, or you get your block and you make sure you're comfortably okay. And obviously this left leg won't be bent if that's not appropriate. I'm going to go back into side bending. So bring the right side of the body towards that right leg and extend. Now you might be somewhat like this. So if your right hand has reached the right foot, or you might be using a yoga belt, sometimes I think it's lovely to just expand out from the heart like we were doing with those eagle arms. I think this is a lovely way of using the pose. If it's easy to fold your body towards the leg, bring the right arm elbow on the inside of the right knee, shin, and the left arm curls overhead and the ribs revolve. So, you know, that is Parivriti Janushasana, the revolved head to knee. And even I'm going to moderate it differently and say that if my right hand just lands on the floor, I could just be here. So join me in something appropriate, keeping those legs open on the mat, and enough time to breathe and enough time to adjust. then try the second side. So reach your left leg out to the left when you're ready, quite wide of your groin. Fold your right heel into the perineum if that's appropriate. Resit. Maybe first of all, it's good just to extend across the chest. And if your left hand reaches the foot, that's fine. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. But maybe get a tug of war going. So sort of pull yourself away from the foot, pull the foot away from your arm. You can even look to that right thumb. If it's easy for your body to fold nearer and you have flexible ribs and body and shoulder, maybe the arm comes over, and Kotalin, I can just imagine you might well be fully in that pose, and others in the yoga room as well. But like I said at the beginning, it would be great if we could cease comparatonitis and be really contented with where we find ourselves. So remember that. Remember this idea of embracing the accomplishments of others while also remembering your own and knowing that we are all different, which is a wonderful thing to remember. So staying in that pose, please, for another round of breath or not. And then allow yourself to unravel and bring the legs around. Give them a good old shake. I don't know about where you are, but it's pretty cold tonight. So do get your socks back on and get your blankets ready. And start to make your way down onto the earth and hug the knees into the chest. It's not really been a majorly heart opening practice tonight, but this pose is quite lovely for space at the front and the back heart. So bring your feet now to the earth. Glide your hips up into shoulder bridge, Setu Bandhasana or yoga bridge, and then roll your arm under you. And if you can, interlace the fingers. And as the shoulders squeeze together underneath, lift the chest open, hug through your thighs, and press through your feet. And in that pose, in that version of Setu Bandhasana, you know, having those arms draw back behind you, squeezing those arms together. What you want to really aim for is that the whole length of the arm bones draws all the way down into the earth, so that you can unravel that chest by drawing those scapulae together. So please enjoy that pose for another few rounds of breath. Be able to lower your body and land on your arms, and then come back into bridge if you need to adjust the positioning of your feet. And often in the yoga bridge, we encourage those inside thighs to kind of work towards that midline. So notice your tendency. Do your legs want to flare out? Perhaps you would like to allow that to happen. So you've got kind of spread legs like a frog. Or would you like to channel a more of that elongation of the knee coming in? So one more round of breath in your version of pose of bridge. Lengthening out those thighs, whether they're going long or wide, and noticing. And maybe separate the hands and press the arms out wide. And then release your spine carefully and let the arms be in a low V, so palms up to the sky. And we'll take eagle twist. So cross your right thigh over the left and maybe bind the ankles as well. So taking the foot underneath the other leg if you wish to, but pop the foot down. So right thigh over, left foot lands. And then roll your legs to the left. And if you want to roll your head to the right, go ahead. Roll your head. That sounded funny. I said, roll your head, go ahead. And relax. Shoulders be heavy. So you've got your right thigh on top of the left. So you're just letting the bones pull across, but please don't let that happen with force. And as you roll the legs now back to center, keep the binding and let them roll to the other side and see what that feels like. So you're going to let that left foot be on the mat, or the toes of the left foot, and roll the legs to the right. Just feel that for a moment. It's really different. And take the legs out. I personally quite like to shake the legs up towards the sky. I just think it feels so lovely on the back to let those legs shake out. Put the feet down, cross your left thigh over the right. Try not to grip the groins. Get it in that really casual position or double bind. With the right foot down, roll your legs over to the right. That's the kind of easy, natural, sort of common sense to do that, to have the left thigh on top. And then let your breath happen. One more round maybe, absorbing the feeling of the bones, the feeling of the pelvis, the weight through the right hip, the dropping of the legs. Maybe the head has turned away from the legs. And then draw back and calmly let the legs flow to your left. Notice how that feels. Naturally, there might not be a lot of movement. As you unravel and unfold your legs, coming back to center, bring them both into the chest, and as you exhale, curl and hold the feet or hold your shins into the pose of supine curl. Maybe do that a couple of times. And of course, you may prefer to do that more than twice. So choosing one or two more supine curl. And then please release your legs, shake out your toes, feet, ankles, maybe circle the ankles. You might even want to reach your arms overhead and then release them beside you. Come and underneath your blanket. And even as I'm going to do now, think about creating your special environment. So maybe you put the low lights on. Maybe you have a candle like Penny did, or maybe you've got an eye pillow. So remember that when we are offering self-love to the yogi, to the yoga person, the yogini or the yogi, we want to be offering the best of the environment. Allow breath in through the nose and exhale through the mouth now. Do that maybe 2 or 3 times more. Close your eyes. And settle your body here now. Let go of all previous yoga of this evening's practice, and instead observe your legs. Maybe they are long, maybe they are knees bent, feet flat, but recognize the weight of your legs and the space that they occupy on the earth. Travel from the feet, the toes, the ankles, and the shins and calves. Let yourself linger around the knees, letting the knees soften. Relax the thighs and the hip points and the groins, and spread the pelvis and the buttocks. And as you inhale, exhale, again let your legs feel heavier, and observe the space and the contact points of your legs and feet or heels or ankles on the earth. Now observe your arms. Fingers, the palms, the wrists, the forearms. Let the weight of the elbows and the upper arms be observed, and spreading your shoulders. Spend a little bit of time noticing the contact points of your arms on the earth. Perhaps your hands are on your body, perhaps your arms are laying beside you, and maybe they are close to your torso or far away, or further away, I should say. Inhale, and as you exhale, let your arms become heavier. Let the bones descend and surrender. Now observe your torso. The left side of the back, the right side of the back, and the whole of the spine. Perhaps feel a soft space in your low back, in the low back arc. How long is that lumbar curve? Can you feel the contact of the low ribs, of the middle ribs and the upper ribs? Spread the shoulders wide and down. Melt the shoulders from your ears. And surrender and yield your body to the earth. Inhale, exhale, and feel the body resting here now. Now bring awareness to your head and your face, crown of your head, the back of your skull, the nape of the neck. Perhaps feel a little space at the curve at the back of your neck. Yield and surrender the weight of your head. Inhale, exhale, and soften all of the facial muscles. The eyes are closed. Feel the eyeballs surrendering, eyelids closed very gently. Let go of the teeth, lips and tongue. The cheeks relax, neck and throat. Inhale, exhale. Let the whole body yield and surrender its weight. In yoga, when we are fully grounded, we are reminded of the earth, of the support of Mother Earth. Now consider your relationship to Mother Earth. Is it true that in Shavasana pose, you do feel soothed, cradled and supported? Perhaps you'll notice small parts of yourself that are still in resistance. And this can especially happen if one area of your body is a little bit injured, or there's a shadow of pain from a previous situation. And maybe that part of you does not yield quite so well. Perhaps there's another area of yourself that is a little in need of more attention. Maybe your stomach, or your heart center, or your throat. Once again, inhale, exhale. And feel connected to yourself more clearly. In the stillness of your body, visualize now the color of deep reddish brown that might represent to you Mother Earth, the support, the steadfast, stable energy, or even the color golden yellow, also associated with being grounded, and the color of the symbol of Muladhara and Swadhisthana, the root and sacral chakras. Let either the color deep red brown or golden yellow come to your visualization in this restful relaxation, or choose lush green, emerald green, color we associate with Anahata, the heart center. And as you breathe in and out, inhaling, exhaling, let one of those colors be absorbed by yourself. As a form of peaceful, healing nourishment for you at this time. Now gently open your eyes. You may just want to roll your head left and right, very softly. Be aware of your breath. Be aware of the feelings in your body, mind, yourself, your emotions, your energy. And slowly bring the knees into the chest and massage your back. And bring yourself back to sitting without rushing. So roll to your side, resting there for a moment. Or come back to sitting safely, mindfully, and carefully. We're going to finish with palming the eyes. So rub your hands together really vigorously, creating warmth and heat. And then cup your eyes just for a moment. And then sliding those hands down into the heart center. Thank you so much for joining me tonight on Monday, the 14th of February. My love to you all. I hope you have a super night's sleep or a lovely supper, whatever you're doing now. And I'm going to bid you good night.